Morning, y'all. Ghost Squad TV in the building. Ghost Squad General. We about to do this video about this exhibition boxing match is happening on November 28th between Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, one of my idols, Brownsville, Brooklyn, versus one of my other idols, Roy Jones Jr., hailing from Pensacola, Florida. Now, both multiple time world champions. Roy, multiple time different weight classes, including heavyweight, toward when he beat John Ruiz in 2001. And obviously, we already know Mike's resume. I mean, he was running through competition in the 80s and early 90s. Despite the Buster Douglas loss, doesn't change the fact that he was pretty much one of the most ferocious boxers I've ever seen. The dude's left hook was insane. Uppercut, just his especially 85, 86 Tyson was just a beast. Roy Jones was also a beast. His quickness was second to none. He used to chase chickens as a kid, and even into his teenage years to make his quickness much better. His lightning fast punching speed was his greatest defense because he wasn't the best defensive fighter. We've seen what happened to him towards the back end of his career once he started losing that speed. Still a good boxer, but wasn't quite the Roy Jones of the 95, 96, 97, 98 era, which was untouchable. So you're going to look at these records first. Roy Jones Jr. is 66-9 out of 75 total fights. Wins by KO 47. Silver medalist in 88. Really got robbed. Really should have won the gold medal. Let's be real here, people. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, you know. Multiple time champion in multiple weight classes, as I mentioned. And then you got Mike, who's 50-6. 44 of those wins by KO. He was the undisputed world heavyweight champion. So here's the tale of the tape. I'm just gonna put the notes down and really just keep it real with you on this one. I know it's an exhibition. Mike Tyson's brutal in exhibitions. I know he's much older, but this man's in incredible shape. Roy's Roy, man. You know what you're gonna get out of Roy Jones. My only issue with Roy, he's fighting a legit heavyweight. Mike is a legit heavyweight, despite being 5'11". He's a legit heavyweight. Those punches are gonna feel like, man, like sledgehammers to the chest and to the ribs and to the face. Roy's kind of shown that his chin has not been the greatest the last 15 years. I don't know if they're going to be wearing headgear or they're going to just be boxing like regular boxing, but in an exhibition. Mike Tyson's not John Ruiz. Make that clear. Shouts to John Ruiz, by the way. Boricua, Massachusetts all day, but nah. He'll tell you he ain't Mike Tyson. So here's the thing. Does Roy have enough to elude Mike's ferocious power? Roy's never been the greatest defensive fighter. Is he going to use his jab to be effective against Mike? Because he's pretty much the same height, I believe. I don't think he's 5'10", 5'11". I don't know if he has a reach advantage. He's usually had the reach advantage against other fighters. Like, he fought Felix Trinidad, obviously. Trinidad, shouts to him. Was much smaller than Roy. Mike is much bigger. And Mike's beating down trees. I mean, dudes like Razor Ruddock, who are no slouches. People sleep on Razor Ruddock. He fought Lennox Lewis, lost, but he might have won a round in that. But he was towards the end of his career. He wasn't in the best shape. He had a great first fight with Evander. He lost, but it was a great fight. It's not pity that. He lost it, but it was a great boxing match between two warriors. Um, Roy, Roy was, let's not downplay him. Like Roy beat Vinny Pazienza. He beat, you know, he beat a lot of talent, and he also beat a lot of guys that like Virgil Hill. You know what I mean? David Telesco. He beat a lot of guys that were, maybe not the biggest names in the world, but really were, touted as great boxers in their own rights. They're just not. They weren't championship boxers. And he went against, Tarver, and he won the first fight on points. He really shouldn't have won that fight, but he won that fight. He lost the second fight. He beat, Hopkins on one arm. I don't count that second fight because let's be honest, even though Hopkins was in better shape for that second fight, they were both damn near almost 50 years old. Let's be honest. I mean, I think Roy's 51 now, but it felt like he was 40 something years old. Felt like he was 50. Um. Anyway, let me stop rambling. Let me just keep it real with y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think Roy's gonna at least put a respectful showing, or do you think Mike is gonna make meat out of him, or do you think Roy's gonna win? Because Mike hasn't been in the ring since 2005. I believe his last fight was against Danny Williams. He lost. He basically fighting on a broke back. That wasn't Mike at that point. That was just a shell. He wasn't himself at that point. Roy's fought in more recent times. You know what I mean? But let's see. Comment in the section down below. Gold Squad TV. Salute. Subscribe. You know the deal. Got more content coming for y'all. Peace.